Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I started this one a little bit early, waiting on the hate camel to show up. I found a story on Twitter that I'm just bringing up now. It's tweeted from the NPR Bay Area. Swastikas found scrawled on an El Cerrito elementary prompt DNA testing for all white students. This was tweeted by, I think, the red-headed libertarian. Yes. Is there any story that goes with it, or is it just a tweet? It's just a tweet. But I don't know. We'll wait for Hate Camel to show up before we talk any further about this. And I will see if I can find the actual news story for it. Let's see, I'll bring up chat too. See if anyone's actually here. Got that muted. Good. All right. So we can find that story.
Morning.
Morning. I already started the stream. So we're already in.
I know. Actually, YouTube notified me of that for a change.
Yeah, it's quite the shock. I saw it pop up on my Twitter feed already. I'm like, oh, they're being nice for once. I brought up this thing. It popped up immediately when I opened up Twitter, and it was from the red-headed libertarian. Let me go back on there. Swastikas found scrawled on an El Cerrito elementary prompt DNA testing for all white students.
I saw that too. I was hoping that was parody.
That has to be, because I mean, have you seen the swastikas?
No, I saw the picture. Yeah, I think I saw Jacob Jett retweeted it.
Because that is
the most autistic swastikas I've ever seen, I believe is what he called it.
it's like this one right here.
The last two weren't even trying.
If you remember, like the old Atari games where you used to like fly around and shoot shit, and then you can bounce them off the walls and everything. This was one of the planes. It was that really chintzy airplane look.
I mean, the one on the far right looks like a stick figure dude with a ponytail doing like a one-legged squat or something. That's not even close.
Or it's a cactrot with a man bun.
Yeah, that's some dude having like a midlife crisis. You know, he's growing his hair out. He's got a ponytail. He's starting to do lunges because getting kind of saggy.
And it's gonna be kind of one of those things where they're gonna find out who did it, and if it actually turns out to be white kids, I'm going to be shocked.
Well, like Beauty and the Beta, they do that hoax hate of the week.
Yeah.
And like the only times they've ever not been hoaxes were when they actually got the swastika right, which is, I think, like maybe 2 or 3 of them in the past almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you see squiggly lines, that wasn't a white person did that. Which, now that I say it, sounds kind of racist.
Oh,
Like all white people know how to do a perfect swastika.
you're part native, so it doesn't count. You're enough of an oppressed minority that it can bypass. Yeah,
But yeah,
I posted on Facebook a couple years back. It popped up in my memories a couple days ago. I put so I found out I can be racist, or no, I found out I can't. I found out that I'm still sexist, but at least I can't be racist. So at least there's that. And like a few of my friends are just like, you really shouldn't be joking about that. Why not?
I mean, I mean, I really hope that story is like some like deep cover, like Onion writer. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, prompting DNA testing, that's a bit ridiculous. So I was going to look for the article.
Yeah, what was that? What, is it a middle school or a high school?
Elementary.
Elementary. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Dude, that's
Apparently, this must be at the special wing.
definitely wasn't at the art department. That's for damn sure.
Let's see.
But that just screams fake to me. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, you know, I'll look like a complete fool, but I'm calling that hoax. Hoax hate. Somebody send that to Matt Christensen.
October 26th.
Wait, October 26th of last year?
Looks like it.
Why talk about a slow burn on that? I mean, this is why I love and hate the internet. Like, it doesn't seem to work on linear time.
Yeah.
Like you see, they're already painting Tulsi Gabbard as a homophobe and a bigot. One day into her run for president.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like 24 hours after she announced that she was going to run for president on that Van Jones show, Huffington Post was writing up a piece about, you know, previous statements she had made about same-sex marriage and whatnot. I think they went back to when she was a state representative in Hawaii. It's like, yeah, Barack Obama didn't come out in favor of it either, like until Joe Biden forced him to. Hillary didn't come out in favor of gay marriage until 2013. It's not like this is the only person who was out there saying, you know, fuck them faggots. You know, they can't get married. No.
Yeah, it's like these people are you know, trying to hold on to their conservative base or whatever. I mean, because God forbid, you know.
I just want to know how many people who get upset about that are willing to have statements they made from the same time period put under national scrutiny. I'm not one of them. I cringe at the things I said last week. I mean, you want to go a decade in the past?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure, like, if I ran for any sort of electable office, it would get bad. Like,
I nuked any chance of me ever having a career in politics when I was like 19 years old. There's no way I'm. If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve.
It's like, well, when we did this pseudo government thing. I ran as the apathetic party.
That's an old Bill Hicks joke, I think. The people who hate people party, come together. No.
No, mine was it was the apathetic procrastinators party. And
yeah, we'll get around to it next week.
It was literally me just sitting around class, not doing anything.
Like if I ever ran for office, I think the only campaign promise I would make is I will leave you the fuck alone until the next election. You won't even know I'm there. That's the beauty of it.
Dial 1 for a home visit.
So
the robot calls. If you want me to stop by and say hi, press 1.
Do you want me to leave you alone until election day? Press 2. No, man. I was just finally sitting down and starting to watch last night's Beauty and the Beta. Actually, I was having trouble watching on my phone last night at work, so it kept buffering real bad. I don't know if that's just my phone's data or what, but didn't seem to affect any of the other videos I watched.
No. Yeah. I was gonna look for that. I found that stream where I had Scribe say I'm a pretty panda, and I was gonna clip that and send it to Monkey and be like, "There, now you have evidence that you're not the only furry in the group."
No, I think like all the sound clips I want to get are just like I'll probably never be on a stream with Drunken Uncle, but I want to get just clips of him saying shit just to play while he's talking.
Yeah.
So he ends up. It would be like a singularity almost. Drunkle interrupting himself, and I wouldn't say anything else. It would just be me hitting the hotkeys.
Do you remember when he did the hour live stream without knowing he was doing the live stream?
He did what live stream?
He said he apparently set up a live stream.
That's right.
And didn't realize he said. Well, I think he scheduled it, but he ended up pushing it through.
Yeah, I think I was sitting at work when that happened. I was like, "Wait, he's streaming again?"
Yeah. Yeah. So we, I think he still got super chats with that one too, just to see if they were gonna get read. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not reading them. Have a good night." Click.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like, how many of those are people just donating? It's like, hey, Bear's not here. Here's some money.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I think he got. There's a couple of. I think it was a 15 and a 10 that I saw.
That's hilarious. See, that's part of the reason why I haven't started doing it in my own streams. I'm just too afraid I'm gonna fuck it up. So yeah, I'll sit here and just coast while somebody else does the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I might be able to come up with something funny. But yeah, I'm just along for the ride. No, the reason why I brought up watching Beauty and the Beta the other day, or early this morning, earlier this week, I had a drag queen come into the store in full regalia, and wow, is all I can say.
Nice.
No, not wow, like cool, like wow, wow. You really went in public like this, okay?
Yeah, I think we need to have more religious holidays so we can press that hashtag get dressed for Jesus.
I mean, Easter is around the corner.
So yeah, just pick every religious holiday.
Yeah.
Then, and then we'll just alter it to whatever prophet happens to be at that religion.
How pissed are the Muslims going to get at Ramadan, man?
Get dressed for Muhammad.
Now, yeah, pretty much. And I'm starting to think that I don't have a problem with drag. I mean, I have a problem with like the drag kids. You know, as long as an adult's doing that shit, I don't care. But like,
oh yeah, that shit's
God, they're getting really loose with the definition of what drag is. Holy hell!
That shit's getting way out of hand.
No, this drag queen came in. I'm fairly confident it was a blonde wig. I mean the full war paint and a lace bodysuit with a pair of like neon blue pastel kind of blue panties on the outside.
Huh.
And then it's like, really? That's it? That's drag? A wig, some makeup, and a bodysuit. Like, I thought you guys like dressed up fancy, sang show tunes. What the fuck, man? This is lazy. It's like I could have done that. Holy hell.
Yeah, that's.
And I didn't realize what this person. I didn't, I mean, I saw I was a drag queen. I, went about my business being at work. And then I look up, and this person is looking at the keychain rack, and it bent over. That's when I noticed the panties. I was like, "Oh, whoa, what? Why? Like, put on some fucking pants, man. Would a skirt be too much to ask? I mean, if you're going, if you're going to be in the role, put on a dress. But yeah, just a lace bodysuit.
Gross.
I was disappointed to say the least. I was hoping that Southeastern Oklahoma would have classier drag queens than that. Apparently, we do not.
Yeah, I remember we had a bit of there's a drag festival a city over from here, and I got a friend request for one on Facebook, and that was back when I had this little track phone, and the picture popped up, and then it was just this little tiny, super grainy photo of this couple. And it looked like they were holding each other. And I'm like, okay, that's whatever. Let's see who friend request or who mutual friends, background checks. And it's like, okay, I know this guy. I talk to him regularly. So yeah, I'll accept the friend request. And then another one popped up after that one went through. And I'm like, okay. And this one was a much clearer picture of a guy wearing, he looked kind of like Tim Curry without the, without the Frankenfurter costume.
Oh, yeah?
It was actually in a dress. And I'm like, okay, I see where this is going. And so when I got home, I checked who I had actually answered the friend request to. And it wasn't the couple holding each other. It was a drag queen dressed up as both the male and the female. So a male him was holding a female him. And I'm like, and we're done here.
That is like the highest form of narcissism I've ever had described to me so far.
Yeah. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, you should promote this drag festival," and I'm like, "And nope, not gonna."
Well, like when I was on Facebook back in the day, I had a firm rule that I didn't add anybody I did not know. You know, just to keep stuff like that from happening. It's like, oh, we have, we have a mutual friend. It's like, I don't care. I don't know you. So I always hit no on those. Twitter, on the other hand, everyone's anonymous. So fuck yeah, I'll add anybody. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to you now. But yeah, it was a weird night because like I had that earlier in the evening, and then at the middle of my shift, this girl came in, and I say girl, young woman, early to mid 20s, and she is crying on her phone. Just walks into my store, walks around. She's crying in the candy aisle. She's crying over by the cooler. Finally gets up to the register, still on the phone, still crying. She's talking to her baby daddy. Not her husband, not her boyfriend, her baby daddy. And apparently it has something to do with the custody of at least one of their children.
So there's multiple babies.
With the baby daddy that she's no longer with.
With possible more than one daddy.
Apparently, this guy, and this is the sad thing, I don't even know this woman's name, but I know intimate details of her life that I never asked to. Apparently, he wanted custody of one of their kids, but I guess not all of them. But yeah, she gets up to the register. She's crying. She pays for her stuff with food stamps. And turns around, pays for cigarettes with cash, and leaves the store.
It's almost getting to the point where you don't need to add that detail. I'm already going to assume.
Well, I mean, for the future listeners who probably haven't listened to all of our other streams.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't want them to think, oh, he's ragging on this poor woman. It's like, no, she's a shitbag, just like all the other ones I've described. But yeah, so she leaves, and without even thinking about it, a thought popped into my head, and I was like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. And the next two people in line behind her started laughing. I didn't realize, I said it out loud. It completely slipped the filter, and it just came right out of my mouth. And they thought that was the most perfect timing of a deadpan. They don't pay me enough for this shit.
Well, it's like I was talking with a gal. What's her name? Devin Grayson, through DMs, and when my youngest was diagnosed with diabetes, I just reached out to a whole slew of people on Twitter, and going down the entire celebrity list, like Buster Douglas, Brett Michaels.
Wait, is Buster Douglas still considered a celebrity? I mean, how many people know who Buster Douglas is, that are under the age of 30?
Well, anyone who's a boxing fan or an MMA fan, I would guess, hopefully knows who Buster Douglas is.
I mean, I do, but then again, like I said, I'm 30, and I'm also a casual boxing and MMA fan. So yeah, I know that name, but I bet if I asked like someone, just random selection of people from my store, hey man, you know who Buster Douglas is? They'd have no clue. They'd probably think it's some dude who lived down the block.
Yeah. No, he talking shit again. No, yeah, and of all the people I reached out to, and I maybe like 10, 15 people, who are all diabetics, who are all celebrities. And I've sent emails and, Twitter messages and the sort to these people. And yeah, the comic book author was the only one to reach back. And, we still trade stories back and forth. I send her a message every once in a while saying hi and everything. And, I forgot where I was going with the story. Oh, yeah. We were talking about stuff, and she goes, and the conversation started to get a little bit more like personal for two people who like pretty much had just started talking through like direct messages.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, and I brought up my dad, and I'm like, yeah, but we're both not getting paid enough to lay down on this couch, so we're just gonna switch topics now.
But yeah, that's something I missed from from the age of no cell phones. You didn't have people just walking in the store bitching to somebody that wasn't there about their problems. It's like, hey man, they can hang up the call. You're still here, and I still got to hear it. Come on.
Yeah.
Cut me a break. Because they would raise holy hell if I was sitting there on my phone behind the register. It's like, yeah, I'm ringing you up. You're getting, you need your cigarettes. Okay, fine. Well, let me talk to my old lady about the problems that we're having in our relationship. And you can sit here and listen to that while I get your menthols. Yeah, I don't think they'd be as appreciative of that.
Yeah,
so,
they wouldn't be fans.
One of these days, I'm just gonna. Also, I had a new employee there with me, so I kind of had to be on my best behavior. Not like I don't all the other times. There's cameras and audio recordings of everything I do, so I should probably act better then too. But they're not standing in the room judging me.
Yeah.
At least this way, if I get fired for something I did, while I was the only one there, I can just be like, yeah, probably deserve that. It'd be worth it just to hear them, tell me what it was that I did. How many times did you call this guy a dumb motherfucker? We actually counted. Too many. But,
you're not counting the ones I thought.
Yeah. But no, that actually was one of the guidances from my assistant manager one time after kicking a couple of dudes out. So swear less next time. You're swearing a lot. Try and don't swear so much. I'm like, okay. That just means take it from 20 to 20 fuck yous to 19 in my book anyway.
You did say decrease.
Yeah. There was no mention of how significant that decrease was to be.
And if you're looking for perfection, yeah, you should keep looking.
Yeah, you're not you're not finding any employees of the month willing to work this shift at this location. This is as high as the bar goes.
Look at it this way. I'm not stealing from you. That's all you need to know.
I'm not stealing from you, and I'm actively making sure that other people don't steal from you. What do you care if their feelings are hurt? Because I made sure they didn't steal from you. But yeah, that seems to be. I've noticed that pattern. It's like the amount of people that come in the store with face tattoos. The number of people that are talking on their phone the whole time they're in there just keeps increasing.
There was one guy I met. He had a face like of all the guys that I've seen that have face tattoos. I think 2 out of 3 of them were pedophiles. 2 of them were convicted, and I only knew that because I just happened to be reading the paper, and this guy's face was just right there.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, well, it must be a trend. Either this guy's doing this for I don't even know why you need a face tattoo even, but
Well, what was really funny to me is like I had one guy who had the Monster logo tattooed like over his eye, like from his forehead down to his cheek. And I was like, man, you must really love energy drinks. You must have like some kind of deficiency where you like they sustain you in some way. But like all the other ones I've met have been black dudes, and every single one of them pot leaf somewhere on their face. Now I like weed. I don't like it that much, and
yeah,
I don't want to. I don't want to tell people that I like it that much without ever telling them that I smoke weed.
yeah.
I mean,
I like it enough that people can look at me and be like, he likes weed.
well,
Because there's some people you can look at and be like, oh yeah, he totally gets high.
apparently it's like a 50-50 shot with me. Like half the people think, oh yeah, he's a stoner, or the other half's like, he probably doesn't even know what it means, But
Because yeah, I was talking to my girlfriend, and they were watching her youngest daughter watches Good Mythical Morning.
I have heard of that. I have no idea what it is.
It's podcast-ish type stuff from these 3 guys, whatever. And they do just random stuff, gamey, not video game but type stuff, but just like stupid internet games. There's one that I watched that was pretty funny. They had shot collars on, and then they had to act out scenes or something, and every so often they would get shocked.
Are they playing charades and Gitmo? What the fuck, man?
I don't know. It was kind of funny, but they had one where they had Post Malone on, and I was looking at Post Malone, and I go, I wonder how often this guy gets high. And my girlfriend looks at me and she goes, how can you tell? And I go, look at him.
I have 2 functioning eyes. That's how I can tell.
And she's like, I don't know how you can just look at someone and be like, oh yeah, that guy's a pothead. And I go, look at his eyes. Like, he can be stone cold sober right now, but still look high.
Anytime a picture of him comes across my timeline, I can smell the resin through the screen. That's how often he gets high. I'm betting.
Well, it was really funny because her son's just like, oh yeah, I bet he does it all the time.
She's the one out of the loop.
Yeah.
Well, I was a fairly good kid until junior year of high school, and that's when I started. That's when I started smoking weed, and I came to a realization when a buddy, he gave me a joint. Like the first time I'd ever smoked had been out of a pipe, and so he gave me a couple of joints, and that's when I realized my mom smoked weed. Because I had like a flashback to when I was in like 3rd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, somewhere in there. And my mom gave me and my little sister the drug talk. And at one point in time, she took like a piece of legal pad paper and she rolled it up, and she said, "If anyone ever hands you one of these, just say no." I was like, "A sheet of paper? Okay." Like it didn't register to me until
Yeah.
until a decade later. My friend hands me like 3 joints, because he was going to quit smoking, and I just started. And I just looked down at my hands like, my mom gets high. Holy shit.
This totally makes sense now. Well, no, actually, I had one of those moments in elementary school with my dad. It was pretty late in the day. He was already off work, and he's like, "Yep, we're gonna finish this day off." I think it was like 8:30 or 9. I was on my way to bed, and I walked in to be like, I think I was looking for something. And I walk in, and he had the pipe to his mouth. And he just looked at me like, oh, shit, I left the door open. Like, sort of like that, oh, God, I'm busted. I'm totally fucking busted.
Just play it cool, man. Just play it
and
cool.
I'm like, hey, Dad, I'm looking for the tools to go to this. And he's just like, oh, yeah, go in they're in the office. And so I was like, all right. And I just walked off, and he slams the door behind me. And he comes over to me. He's like, okay, so you didn't see that. And like, I thought it was a natural thing because my uncle's a pipe smoker. He's a tobacco pipe smoker.
Yeah, okay.
And so I figured that's what he was doing. And it didn't dawn on me until I think it was shortly after my dad was selling one of his old properties. They were cleaning out some of the boxes, and they opened it up, and they found a rusted out old bong of his. And it actually belonged to some other guy who was a tattoo artist here in town. And yeah, just it had his name on it. Everything. It's like there's no incriminating evidence here.
That's hilarious. No, I think back to when I was a kid, when I started smoking. I was like, how did I not get arrested? I was begging for it as a kid, because I used to roll around in my car with a gas mask and a 4-foot steamroller.
Nice.
Yeah, just a complete idiot. And I remember, in keeping with the half-baked tradition, I would give them names. Like the 4-footer, I called that the Messiah, because it would give you that "Oh Jesus" hit.
Yeah.
It took 2 people to light the thing. That's how ridiculous it was.
Oh, nice.
And it would take more people than that to clear it. Like, it would take at least 2 people to light it and get the smoke all the way to the top. And then you'd have to do like a fucking relay race at a track meet, passing it around a room full of people to get it to go before it went stale. And then was it the oxygen mask one? I named that one Hannibal, because the way it was set up, the smoke would go either in your mouth or up your nose, and if you cough, it just circled back through.
Yeah.
And if you misjudged it and you took too big of a hit, I said that it would eat your face. That's why it was named Hannibal.
Yeah, a friend of mine had a gas mask, and like normally when I walked into a party, like people would kind of keep it between themselves, which I was okay with. And yeah, he just he does the gas mask for himself, and then he hands it to my friend. He does the gas mask, and then they hand it to me, and I'm like, I don't know if I should do this, because yeah, I was. They called me the one-hit wonder for a reason.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Oh, they'll be fine." Peer pressure. And yeah, I put it on, and he's like, "Okay, now when I tell you to inhale, and when I tell you to stop." And so he goes, "Okay, now exhale," and I exhale out, and he goes, "Okay, now inhale." And so he keeps going, and he goes, "Oh wait, you can stop. You can stop inhaling now." And by that time, like the smoke had reached my eyes, like my eyes were on fire, and I'm like, I couldn't even see because it was so thick that it was burning my eyes. And so I'm in here, and he's just like, "Okay, now do a brief exhale, and then just inhale whatever you can." And so yeah, I doing these small like hyperventilation breaths
Oh God.
until it clears out. And I by that time I was just like, I gotta leave. Like it has gone way too far already.
Oh man. But yeah, just you think back to that kind of shit, and it's like, wow, you were a dummy. And now there are people my age in Congress, and that scares the shit out of me.
Yes.
I've been saying it for years too. I've been
And
telling anybody that would listen, it's like, hey, one day people my age are gonna be writing the laws, and we're all gonna be fucked.
and there are moderately sober people our age in Congress.
But this is a oh wow. I was scrolling through Twitter. I got sidetracked. Never mind.
Okay. Well, no, my first time actually majorly, like I was in high school, and we were getting ready for my dad's wedding. My sister was in college, and she's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go stop off at my place in Missoula, and then we're gonna go over to from there." And we go, "Okay." And so they do the pop can thing,
Oh yeah.
and so they have me smoke from the pop can in the car. So yeah, we're in the car. We're hotboxing the car from about, I don't know, it's an hour and a half from here. Hour and a half, hour 45 minutes of us, hotboxing this car. I pass out at least 20 minutes in. Mostly because I get motion sickness when I'm not driving.
Mm.
So yeah, I force myself to sleep. And of course, pot helps.
It doesn't
So
hurt in the sleep department.
so yeah, I was really good with that one. Um, I woke up about, I guess, 10 minutes later, and my sister is like, "Oh yeah, okay, now you can do this." And so they found um, a different pop can because I guess her friend had dropped it and smashed it flat. So they got it. Oh no, it was a plastic bottle with I think part of the pop can they used as a to keep the plastic from melting.
Oh, okay.
And so I ended up hitting that, which but it was a mistake. Like, and then I passed out again shortly after. Um, this time for about, I don't know, good half an hour. And then we got to her place, and then like I walk in and there's a whole bunch of people just running around this place. and I'm still kind of feeling things.
Still feeling a little fuzzy.
Still feeling a little fuzzy, so I'm just like sort of teddy bearing around, just like, oh, what's going on? And I walk in and I just sit down and I kind of just lay back. And they're like, oh, yeah, come on up here. And I'm like, all right. So I go up and everyone's sitting in a circle. There's like 5 people initially. And they start passing around this pipe. And I'm like, well, I've never done a pipe before. So they're like, oh, yeah, you cover the carb or you cover the hole. And then once you burn enough of it, you can release your finger. So I end up doing that. I think about 15 minutes later, I pass out again. So I'm curled up in a little ball in the middle of my sister's bedroom, like tight cat like fetal position. Like no human should be sleeping like this. And then I wake up, I think it was like 20 minutes later. I get back and I join the group. And one of her friends come over, and I'm still very high now at this moment. And her friend comes over and she's like, oh, you should try this, and hands me this bong. And it's about
Oh my God, dude.
about it's about 1.5 feet long. And I'd say it's about a 2-inch wide chamber. And I'm like, I can't do this. Like I don't know what you guys are expecting of me. And she's super hot.
I mean, did they not recognize the 1,000-yard stare you already had?
I'm like, I'm to the point right now where I should be in a state facility. Like I am that special.
I mean, and this was your sister and her friends?
Yes.
Like, I mean, at that point, if it had been my sister, and, me and my friends and my younger sister, I'd been like, let's stop wasting the weed. Obviously, it's turning her into a narcoleptic. She doesn't need any more.
So they talked me into it because, of course, Q Girl can talk you into anything.
Oh, yeah, I mean.
And so I take the hit, and that's when I realize there is a such thing as getting too high. Like as soon as I released what was in the lungs, like it felt like time slowed down.
Oh yeah, you get that tunnel vision.
And it's just
you just see the elevator doors closing.
And I'm just like, all of a sudden they just see me like slide up against the wall. And I'm wearing this it's a hooded jacket. And I slowly just raise the hood on the jacket. And I grab the drawstrings and I just close them. Like just as slow as I can possibly move, as not to set anyone off. And like I think I'm being stealthy, and that's when later on you realize there's
everybody knew, yeah,
your perspective, and there's what actually happens. And so I'm trying to like duck out of the room without people noticing, because like I know I'm gonna pass out again. And so I'm just like, I don't want people watching, so I'm just gonna slowly slide back. And I pulled my hood over and drew the strings like Kenny in South Park. Well, apparently, I was anything but graceful. My sister said that I was laughing so hard that it sounded like they wanted to put me in the psych ward. And I was just yelling at people not to look at me. which
Oh
was just
wow.
making them laugh even harder. And so I am, and I'm just in the middle of freaking out, and I'm like, I need to go lay down. Like, I get up and I run back to where I had laid down previously, and I just lay down and passed right out.
See, the only like, it wasn't even a bad experience. The only weird experience I've really had with pot has been edibles. And I was the first time I tried them, I was not impressed. Like, it was, I it didn't really affect me. It felt like, and this was, medical stuff from Colorado, and this was their legal edibles. And so I was kind of disenchanted with the idea of edibles. And then one of my girlfriend's friends, old man, he's like, "Hey man, I made some brownies. You want to try one?" Like, all right, cool. So I take this brownie home, and I'm not expecting anything of it. I eat the whole thing, and this is like one. This was a piece the size of one of like those like Little Debbie brownies.
Oh yeah.
Fairly good sized brownie, and it had M&Ms in it. And so I ate the whole thing. Didn't even think about it. I go to use a bathroom, and like midstream, I realize I can't use my legs. Like, they're not holding up my body anymore. And so I managed to pinch it off, and I get situated to where I sit down. I finish, doing my business, and I spend like a good solid 10 minutes just sitting there after I'm done. Like, how do I get back to the bedroom? My legs don't work. If I go crawling into the bedroom, I'll never hear the end of it. If my girlfriend sees me army crawling down the hall, it's gonna get back to this dude, and I will never hear the end of it. And so I managed to just just lock my knees and toddler walk almost down the hall with my hands on either side, bracing myself.
Okay, this is from December 24th. I just saw this on Twitter. I don't know if do you follow James Woods?
Yeah, I do. I haven't seen him post recently. That's, now that you mention it. The last thing I remember seeing him do was talk about like the fires.
Last night, 7:30, my time. Cindy Crawford mortified after she's mistaken for Caitlyn Jenner.
That's hilarious.
And I don't know about you, but I'm going to share that.
Oh, okay. Yes, I just scrolled to that post. I mean, you're walking down a dark alley and you see that outline. Does your mind go to Cindy Crawford, or does it go to That would be hilarious.
So, yeah. I was kind of thinking that Monkey would be tweeting so we could troll his chat.
I don't know if he's doing a Monkey in the Morning today. If he does, he might do it later.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. I knew P-Dog Knight is planning on doing one.
How often is he going to do that stream? Did he say, or is he just going to?
Sounds like he's just trying to do it Mondays.
Oh, okay, that's cool. See, I thought about if I ever did try to do my own live streams, it would be like on my days off, like kind of like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Get the Europeans and the Aussies, in their kind of prime time. But I don't know what I would actually want to stream about that would be worth going through the effort. Because if I was gonna do a stream, I'd want to be able to do good couple hours at least.
Yeah.
On any given day, I don't know if I got enough stuff to talk about without repeating myself to do it on my own at least. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that is awful. So I'm sure Cindy Crawford has never killed a guy in her car.
I mean, she might if you compare her to Caitlyn Jenner. You know, what's the rest of that story? I didn't click on it.
I just exited out of it.
But you gotta remember though, that wasn't Caitlyn, that was Bruce. Okay.
Yes.
And Bruce killed that lady. Caitlyn, she's clean.
Let's see. Cindy Crawford is world famous supermodel, but last week's British Fashion Awards, multiple people confused her with Caitlyn Jenner. Let's see. Oh, it's a video.
Oh, Della Hayes is in the chat. He said Monkey went to bed after Minions last night, and he wasn't sure if he was going to do a Monkey in the morning.
Okay.
Although
Yeah, I watched part of that show.
It was kind of interesting seeing him doing it without Dax after. I mean, Dax has been there for quite a while now.
Yeah.
It's funny that Monkey always seems to get people who kind of keep him on a format.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's
because I don't think they checked the hashtag yesterday.
Yeah, he always has like Scrabber Dax to keep him on the go, and then he has to invite people to sort of throw the chaos in there.
So,
because I can only imagine what someone like Ghastly and Drunkle are going to do if both of them are together.
Yeah, when I was listening in yesterday, I was gonna mention, if he'd checked the hashtag yet, right when he was, getting ready to shut it down. Like that's where I saw that story about Tulsi Gabbard from the Huffington Post. Raymond Lewis posted it. I was like, wow, it only took a day.
I'm still waiting for the after Mel Brooks passes away. I'm still waiting for his. He's a Nazi.
Well, I mean, Ben Shapiro's a Nazi, so why not Mel Brooks?
This person below likes.
Jews are Nazis now. That's just the way of the world in current year.
This person below enjoys dark-skinned partners. Oh, it's me again.
See, why can't I get any of the good ones? No, I think this is actually good. I think 2020 is going to be better than 2016. I really do. I'm getting optimistic for some reason that this is going to be the greatest shit show on earth.
I was going to say, now by better, what do you mean?
Yeah, this is going to be some P.T. Barnum level greatest shit show on earth, watching the Democrats just tear each other apart to see who's left standing. Oh, hey, guess what? Now you get to go up against Trump, a man who gives zero fucks. The Elizabeth Warren won 2020. That had me cracking up when I saw it. I mean, that was just perfect. So, and he's Game of Thronesing the wall into real life. I mean, I want to know who he has working for him, doing this stuff, because If this is a 70, was he 71, 72?
72.
72. If this is a 72-year-old man sitting up at 3 a.m. in the White House making memes, I'm going to die. I mean, at least tell me he outsources that. Please, please. If Donald Trump is better with Photoshop than me,
I've wasted my life.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like I'm like a caveman with a Bic lighter when you put me in front of a computer. I stopped learning how they worked after I learned how to download music and porn. So I'm still stuck in like the early 2000s. But yeah, I just want to see what he's going to come up with for whoever it is. Whoever's the nominee. Oh, that's something.
There's P-Dog Night right there.
Oh, is he getting started?
Yep.
All right, that's cool. I will check the Vegas odds on the nominees, and we can talk about that the next time we stream.
I was gonna troll Blind Press's chat a little bit.
Oh wow, everyone's starting up right now, huh?
And in the morning, I'm making waffles. Smiley face. Can't hear you.
Chris Pratt is marrying Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. Hazmat didn't know that Arnold had a daughter, which I got to admit, I didn't know that either. I didn't really care, but good for you, Chris. Congratulations.
Oh, that's right. He divorced. What's her name?
I think she divorced him.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, women tend to. It's not my personal experience, but from what I understand, women don't tend to like it when you pump a baby into the maid. Something ruffles their feathers when it comes to situations like that. So
let's see what. Leave blind stream.
I've gone down a rabbit hole the past week or so of watching different MCU related channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I finally got completely caught up with all of the Marvel movies. My girlfriend and I sat down the other day and watched Ant-Man and the Wasp. And I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't put it anywhere close to my top 5 of favorite MCU movies, but it was serviceable. And you can definitely see, what they're setting up, for Avengers 4, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been going through and watching a whole bunch of different channels with their theories and whatnot of what's going to happen in the next movie. And I actually went back and I started watching a channel that I hadn't watched in a couple of years. Actually, I lost track of it for some reason. You ever watch Comics Explained?
Some of their stuff.
Yeah, I went through and I watched he had like a 2.5 hour video on Infinity Gauntlet, like the story arc.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much of that are they actually going to put into effect?
Yeah, I watched their it was their one for Darkest Night.
But yeah, so
because my friend has pretty much the entire Green Lantern series for Darkest Night or Blackest Night.
Not
Darkest Night. Yeah, he's got a majority of the Black Lantern storyline going on there. And so, yeah, he's always trying to get me to read it, and I've never had time to go over there. So,
Well, I mean, aside from watching comic book curation, I hadn't really been keeping track of a lot of different comic streams because I enjoy those guys because I kind of know them, you know.
yeah,
And it's fun to listen to people you like talking about things they're passionate about. But like with the any Comicsgate stuff like that, my eyes kind of glaze over the same as they did with Gamergate. It's like, okay, I pay attention to actual politics to a point. I don't want to have to pay attention to politics in video games or in comic books. I just want to hear about comics, man.
politics is like an electric fence. You touch it, and then you're like, I'm going to get involved in this. You touch it, it shocks you, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll leave it alone. But somehow you always end up going back, and you're like, I'm going to touch this fence again.
but no, I was actually having fun, like listening to this dude Rob from Comics Explain. Just going through like the secret origins of Tony Stark. I was like, man, I want to go pick up those comics now and actually read them instead of just listening to this dude summarize it.
Well, it's like Jack's bad comics reviews. Some of those, especially this last one, like the hardcore one.
Oh yeah,
that one sounds really good.
Yeah, I mean, which is it's funny. Like I actually started. I follow that channel on a different YouTube account I had in like 2015, and I would just sit there while I was at work, and I would listen to this dude talking about these different comic books and kind of summarizing the stories and whatnot, and kind of giving background information about characters, whatnot, how this ties into a different comic series or how this deviates from the canon in some way. So, is that P-Dog?
Yep. Stream septioning.
You know what? That's one sound clip that I want to get for my soundboard. The next time, like I'm ever on a stream with P-Dog, the way he entered into chat on that last stream, just get that clip from the song. Da na 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 na. It's the motherfucking yeah. Yeah, just have that ready. So as soon as he pops into the hangout, just hit that button. Oh man, I keep talking about this sound pad that I got. I need to start doing something with it. I'm a procrastinator. It sounds so good to talk about it, but as soon as I'm great at planning, I'm horrible at execution.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of ambition, but no ambition to follow that ambition.
What was that Mitch Hedberg joke? I'm going to stop following my dreams. I'm just going to ask where they're going and hook up with them later.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to call this one. And then
yeah, where are we going to go from there, man? We just talked about how like how we're lazy.
Yeah.
And to prove our point, chat, goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys bore me. I'll see you later. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go actually listen to the Morning Night.
Yeah.
See what P-Dog's up to.
Yeah, that's what I think we're gonna do. And then I gotta get some shut eye. My girlfriend's birthday is today, so we're gonna
Oh yeah, you don't want to sleep on the couch, man. You better get some rest for that.
Alarm, so yeah. All right.
All right.
Well, yeah, it was good talking to you.
Always, man. Always.
And yeah, I'll see you later.
Later.